Welcome to Total Retail Talks, your podcast channel for retail knowledge.
Hello, and welcome to episode 91 of Total Retail Talks. I'm Joe Keenan, executive editor of Total Retail. Today I'm joined by Aaron Bata, head of customer experience at Tuft Needle, a manufacturer and online retailer of mattresses. We're going to be discussing how Tuft Needle is using feedback from its customers to inform business decisions. Thanks for joining me today, Aaron.
Hey, Joe. Thanks so much for having me.
So first, can you just tell our audience a little bit about Tuft Needle?
Yeah, of course, I'd be happy to. So like you said, Tuft Needle, we are a mattress brand. We were born online, so we're a fully vertical mattress brand. And really, we were founded with the intent to change the way that the mattress industry looks and that people are able to buy mattresses and have a different kind of mattress experience. Before Tuft Needle came around, typically to buy a mattress, you had to go to a mattress store, and there were all sorts of difficult choices to be made, and discounts and disingenuous sales and things like that. So we wanted to simplify that and offer one great product for a fair price all year round, and that's really who we are.
Just to follow up on the company, I would imagine one of the biggest challenges around online selling of mattresses is the fulfillment of the product. Can you talk about that? I know I'm going off a little bit from what we talked about, but I'm interested around sort of that challenge when it comes to selling mattresses online. Sure,
that is definitely a question that we get pretty often. So our mattresses, we do have it's a foam mattress. We use a proprietary foam called adaptive foam, and we actually vacuum pack. We seal and vacuum pack those mattresses in boxes that are about 44 inches high and 16 by 16, and we FedEx them straight to your door anywhere in the country. Okay, very cool. So let's getting back to a little bit, as I mentioned in the introduction, about customer feedback. So can you talk about the different ways that Tuft Needle is collecting feedback from its customers? Sure. So feedback is really important to us. Like I was saying earlier, the company was really founded to make the mattress buying experience better for customers. So we want to make sure that we are hearing all the feedback that we can possibly get from our customers while we are making decisions. We start out asking for feedback in a few different ways. If people are buying the mattress directly from our site, once they have purchased the mattress, we send them an email pretty much right away, telling them a little bit about the story of how we were founded, why Dehi and JT, our co-founders, decided to leave software engineering and found a mattress company. And we ask why customers chose us and what problems they'd seen in buying mattresses previously, and if it was anything that we addressed or anything more that we could address. And then a few days later, once people have had the chance to try out the mattress, to sleep on it for a few nights, we actually send an NPS survey through Delighted, which is the company that we use to send out our NPS surveys, really asking customers how everything is going and how they're enjoying the mattress. What we're asking, for people who don't really know how NPS works, is how likely they are to recommend a mattress to a friend, which is, we think, a really good way of figuring out how happy somebody is with the mattress. And if they're not, we're able to go in and help in any way we can.
With a really highly personal product like a mattress, something that your customers are using every day, or at least most days if they're not traveling somewhere, do you see that you get a higher response level of response than you might for some other products when it comes to the getting feedback?
Yeah, so we have a pretty high level of response. We get probably about 30-40% of people who are of our customers are actually responding to our NPS survey. So we do get some great, and I think that a lot of that does come down to the fact that this is it's a really big purchase. One of the main concerns that a lot of people have with buying a mattress online is that it's not a book. It's not a piece of electronic equipment. It's something they're going to be using every day, and oftentimes it's a really big ticket purchase that people do have to budget for. So I think because of that, we do get really good feedback because people care a lot about this purchase.
Okay, so you're getting this feedback from your customers. I'm interested in how you're then using that information to inform some decisions and that you're making at the company. And kind of as a follow-up to that, is there maybe an example or two that you can cite from where you've used feedback from your customers to make important business decisions?
Yeah, happy to get into both of those. So we really look at the feedback. We categorize the feedback that we get based on, was their feedback related to the experience itself? Was it related to the product? Was it related to if they were in one of our retail environments, one of our stores? Was it based on that experience? And so we categorize those and we look at the data. If we're getting 100 people who are saying that the mattress is a little bit too firm for them, and 3 people who are saying it's a little bit too soft, then maybe it's time to take a look and see if we can change our formula a little bit and make the mattress a little bit softer. And that's actually something that we did find about a year back. We didn't make any huge changes to the mattress. It's still the same foam that we've used for the last few years. But we did make a few tweaks based on customer feedback to make our foam a little bit softer, and that came 100% from the NPS feedback that we'd gotten. Another example that I really like is around our stores. So we never intended to have a real retail presence. We were a mattress company born online, and we figured that through cutting all of the costs that are associated with rents and overhead and inventory and all these things that mattress stores have to deal with and then pass on those costs to the customer, that the best experience would be to order a mattress online, and people would have 100 nights in their home to try it out and decide if they like it there. But we found is that people really did want to try it out beforehand, and we did have a lot of feedback, people saying, I wish that I had the chance to try it out for a little while before I actually purchased the mattress. So our foray into retail really began by taking one of our conference rooms and taking the table out of it on the weekends and putting a mattress in there and inviting prospective customers to come down and try the mattress out. And then from there, over the course of a couple of years, we progressed to where we are today through mostly customer feedback. And now we have a store in downtown Phoenix, store in Scottsdale, Arizona, as well as a store in San Francisco.
So how frequently are you monitoring this customer feedback? Is this something that's done on a constant basis? And then again, another part to that question is that the domain of a customer service team, or is this feedback accessible to all the different teams within the organization at Tuft Needle?
So feedback is accessible to everybody in the company. When people start, part of the software package that they get is a delighted login. So anybody can look at any feedback, because we all do take feedback, whether we're on the customer experience team or the digital team or the marketing team or the operations team, because we are all customer experience adjacent, no matter what part of the company you're in. So everybody is looking at that, and everybody is able to measure that. On the customer experience team specifically, we look and respond to every passive and every detractor. So anybody who's given us a score of an 8 or lower to actually get eyes on what they have to say and see if we can make their experience better or help them in any way that they need, or if it's a larger issue that we can't help the same day, if it's an issue with the product or with the stores themselves, something like that, that's when we go back to the relevant teams and say, hey, our customers are telling us this. We should be listening. We should act on it. There were a lot of customers who were not thrilled that they had to wait a few days to get their mattress because our mattresses are shipped via FedEx. It's tough to get same day delivery to most places with FedEx Ground, which we use. So we actually started expedited delivery in some of our larger footprint cities like Phoenix, New York, and San Francisco. And we wouldn't have been able to do that without customer feedback. The customer experience team wouldn't have been able to go and talk to the operations and supply chain team and say, hey, this is something that our customers are saying. Let's see if we can do it. And they figured it out, and now it's a big part of our process.
With this clear emphasis at Tuft Needle about collecting customer feedback, and not only just collecting it, but acting on it to improve the experience that you're giving to your customers, can you discuss some of the benefits that the company has realized from this approach?
Yeah, so I think that the biggest learnings have really been that our customers know better than we do. We can try and come up with new ideas, new ways of doing things that we think are going to delight customers, but really we have a lot of people who are telling us what they want. It's up to us to act on that, to pivot in that direction.
And then my final question, Aaron, is can you talk a little bit about, or maybe offer your thoughts and advice around how other retailers can look to collect customer feedback and use it like Tuft Needle has to improve the experience that you're giving, that they can give to their customers?
So I think really it's a similar kind of mindset. It's this idea that no one person or really even no one team necessarily knows what's best for your customers more than your customers themselves do. So giving them a platform to kind of come into the company and be a part of the decision-making process of your company is something that is hugely valuable. Another thing that we've been trying to do, especially in our retail locations, is getting feedback from people who have tried out our product, who have come in, been through the Tuft Needle experience, and actually decided not to purchase. And I think that that's really important feedback to get too, and that's feedback that a lot of companies don't get. They're purely basing customer feedback on people who have bought their products, but what about those who have visited your website, who have visited your store, and have chosen not to buy? Are you getting feedback from them? And if not, why not? Because they probably have some great answers as well.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Kind of like why they abandoned. Whether or not maybe not as gotten far as the checkout at the cart, but getting into that. What went wrong, so to speak, as to why they decided not to make a purchase can be really valuable, I would assume.
Exactly, and abandoned carts are actually a really good example where I think there's a big focus on going back and trying to capture that sale, but instead of having that be the focus, going back and saying, what made you choose to leave the page? What can we do to improve our process, to improve our product, to improve our service? And going from that angle will provide a lot more insight into how to make more people customers in the future.
So I want to take this opportunity to thank Aaron Bata of Tuft Needle for joining me today. Please check out our podcast channel page, mytotalretail.com/podcast for show notes. Total Retail Talks is available on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. But make sure to subscribe on our podcast channel page as well. Lastly, please follow us on Twitter at MyTotalRetail or on Facebook at facebook.com/MyTotalRetail. Thanks, and I look forward to you joining us on the next episode of Total Retail Talks.